What's up, you guys, and welcome to a very last minute episode of the Ask Alex Show. I honestly I do not like doing the show without my guys with me, so I'm glad I got to get Jeremy with me from not movies are terrible, the pop culture nihilist. Jeremy, how are you doing?
Hey, man, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here. It is early in the morning, but it's been a while since we've been able to catch up. So I'm glad to be here. We're about to go get breakfast. Then we're going to go to the mall so Victoria can get a bag. And then we're going to go see a movie. And I don't know what we're seeing yet. You got any suggestions?
Oh, TMNT.
Seen it. It's fantastic.
Have you seen Oppenheimer yet?
I saw Oppenheimer. It's fantastic.
Ah,
what about Gran Turismo? You seen that one?
Oh, that's really good. That
is it really?
Really good.
All right.
For a video game-esque type of movie, that's really good, dude. Like, it's, oh my God, like, it's really good.
Okay, then I think that's the call. It's at 12 or 12:15, so we're going to go spend a couple hours doing that. I woke up this morning early, and it's Saturday at the time we're recording this. We're actually streaming live, so you're probably well aware of that. But woke up to the news that Jimmy Buffett passed away, Alex. Both you and I, we kind of essentially met each other on the beach, and not officially. You worked at the beach, I've worked at the beach, and if you do, Jimmy Buffett's musical is inescapable. If you work on the beach, he is a institution. You can't go to the gift shop, you can't go to the hotel lobby, you can't go to any given restaurant on the beach without hearing Cheeseburger in Paradise or Son of a Sailor or Margaritaville, any of his number of singles. But I gotta ask you, dude, is Jimmy Buffett just white people shit? What is your relationship with Jimmy Buffett?
What the hell are we talking about, man? God dang, Jimmy Buffett.
What's up, man?
What's up, Ian? We're talking about the late passing of Jimmy Buffett. For one of the
Jimmy Buffett died?
Yeah.
I hate how this is how I found out. Goodness gracious.
I was just asking Alex, as somebody who grew up on the beach. You're from Panama City. What is your relationship with Jimmy Buffett? Is it just white people shit, or does he like resonate with everybody? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, the vibes are always good, man. You know, it's hard to hate on Jimmy Buffett's music. It's basically just like, hey, it is basically white people on the beach, and this is my song to it. But there's nothing wrong with it for sure. And yeah, he has his own restaurant in Panama City Beach. Apparently, used to go to it all the time, and nobody was allowed to talk to him. That's what I heard from the restaurant that he worked at, that he owned. Margaritaville was.
Yeah.
But no, man, he has some classic hits, man. You know, they were just mayonnaise reggae songs, but other than that, they were fine.
That's a really good way of putting it, man. Yeah, mayonnaise reggae. What about you, Alex? What do you think?
Is fun fact, and I won't stay too long on it, but fun fact, I got introduced to Jimmy Buffett in high school. I had a science teacher by his name was Mr. Turner, and he would play it every morning when we walk in. And I thought it was really, really cool, like really just like a dope vibe. So I asked him after class who it was. He told me who it was, and then from that point on, I started listening to it. Another fun fact: when I worked with your wife at the hotels back when I was in Pensacola, they used to play Jimmy Buffett all the time, especially during the spring and summer around the beach. And another fun fact, Margaritaville was actually a hotel like a couple doors down from where me and Jeremy's wife used to work at, and they would play his music because that was the type of vibe that they had. So, and then also remember like bands on the beach. A lot of bands on the beach would like mimic his
absolutely
song. And like for me, Jimmy Buffett has always been like that one dude you can just listen to and just vibe to, regardless if you're driving or sitting at home or at the beach, you know. So it was very it kind of did touch me that he passed. I was like, dang, like he was one of those dudes who was just like a white version of Bob Marley. That's how I kind of equate him.
I was gonna say the same thing. Like Jimmy Buffett is like white beach boomer music. Like my parents love Jimmy Buffett, and that's I feel like why it kind of hit me a little harder than a lot of things do. Is it just kind of reminds me of growing up and all of that kind of stuff. But you've got Bob Marley on one side, who also white boomers fucking love because they play him on the beach all the time. And then you've got Jimmy Buffett. Bob Marley had like a political message. There was a little bit of like substance, I guess, as far as like what he was trying to say. Yeah. And then you've got Jimmy Buffett, whose music was just strictly about having a good time. I feel like it is so quintessential Florida. So yeah, RIP to Jimmy Buffett, man. That's kind of a crazy thing to wake up to. But while we're on the topic of music, Alex, you had mentioned something about Taylor Swift.
Yeah, so before we get into the writer's strike real quick, just another crazy thing. I think Taylor Swift's a dope artist. I'm not a fan of her music because I don't really listen to it. But
Beyonce had the best video of all time.
Exactly. But I will say this, it is actually kind of crazy that the concert that she's been promoting is actually outselling more tickets than Avengers Endgame. And this is just for a live concert that I'm assuming that theaters are streaming to their theaters that you can go see, and people are buying it. Those essentially, they're the Swiftie fans who can't go to the concert. So AMC and other theaters are allowing the concert to stream the concert to the theater. And my question is, what if the stream goes out during the concert? Like, that's like a waste of
Oh yeah,
number one.
yeah.
And then number two is kind of like, okay, what are you guys' thoughts that a concert, this is not a movie, this is not fiction, this is not nonfiction, this is just a straight up concert that movie theaters are selling tickets for. What do you think? Do you think this is the new way of us viewing concerts, not just from her, but from up and coming artists or very well established artists? And do you think this will affect the movie industry, since there are no movies coming out within the next couple of years during this, the strike?
Well, she's not the first to ever do that, but at the same time, she's probably the biggest to ever do it.
Jonas Brothers did it.
Jonas Brothers, Michael Jackson, I believe, did it, or I don't know if he actually did, but no, there has been concerts that have gone to movies, and the studios are like, you know what? If you can't see Taylor Swift live, we'll take your money at home. So that's, or take your money at the movie theaters. I do see this possibly being a way more so maybe with VRs in the future as well. That might be a possibility. It's not that bad of an idea, but that is crazy, like how big she's gotten. Like the first time I was introduced to her was honestly when Kanye snatched the mic from her. I had no idea who she was.
Yeah, that was like, my first time too.
Why would you do that to that poor little white girl with her one single that she'll never, have fame ever again? Boy, was I wrong. She's outselling Beyonce when it comes to like ticket sales now and live performances. So like she is like the hottest like artist out right now. So it makes sense that she's selling a lot, but more than Avengers Endgame, that really shows like there's not a lot of promotion going on for like big Hollywood movies and stuff. Like, I don't know like the rules on the strike, like if you can promote musical acts and stuff like that. It's interesting. I'm really curious of how that works, but props to her, man. If you can take people's money by not even performing in their city, that's a special talent right there.
Yeah. What about you, Jeremy? What do you think about this?
Let me give my Taylor Swift spiel real quick, because I've been looking into it a lot lately. She's become the thing, right? And it's undeniable that there are like these once in a generation talents. And I'm not a big fan of Taylor Swift's music, honestly, but she started back in 2006. Since then, she's had like 10 albums. She's currently re-recording 6 of her early albums because the producer that owned the rights to her music wouldn't let her get royalties off of them. And the Taylor Swift fans are supporting her for that. They're buying the same album twice just to support this musician. She was on tour. She gave every single one of her staff an extra $100,000. All the tour bus drivers, everybody, because she made so much bread, she split it among everybody. She's had 9 number 1 singles. She's had 41 top 30 singles. She is the most sold like singles on iTunes, Spotify, all of that of all time. As of 2019, she won more AMAs, American Music Award awards than Michael Jackson. So there is a discussion to be had about where Taylor Swift ranks on the pantheon of the most celebrated and most successful pop stars of all time. And I think quantifiably, it is evident that she's number 2. You got Michael Jackson, who is still in the Guinness Book of World Records, the most celebrated artist of all time. He's won 750 awards. He is just the top of the mountain. There is nobody, I don't think, that will ever be Michael Jackson. But then underneath that, I think there's a case to be made that it's Taylor Swift.
I've heard that, and you're absolutely. But I think I would say the commonality between the two is that they are universally loved by the world. Like, I was telling one of my coworkers, Michael Jackson was so loved that that he went to other countries and they were trying to hide him from the KGB. Like, that's how loved Michael Jackson was. And to an extent,
people would see Michael Jackson and just fall out. They would just faint. They couldn't even handle being in his presence.
Exactly. Like, and it's kind of the same thing with Taylor to an extent. But like I said, musically, I think she's probably in terms of maybe sales, she's probably beat Michael Jackson. But Michael Jackson, in terms of who he is as an icon, is always like right here. So I would agree with that analysis that like it's Michael Jackson, then it's her, because I'm thinking like worldwide, not just America.
And I mean, we got to bring up the Beatles. Of course, there's the Beatles. Of course, there's Elvis Presley.
Right.
But times were different then. And I wonder if in 30 years, we're going to look back with a little bit of hindsight and how we'll feel about it then.
Once Paul McCartney dies and they tell that Beatles biopic, that's when that will happen. Once he dies, I guarantee you that movie's gonna make $2 billion if it's good. I guarantee.
What's impressive about Taylor Swift selling so much right now? I mean, I feel like there's a boom of people wanting to go to concerts now. People just want to get out after the pandemic and stuff.
Yeah.
Life, so that's to her advantage as well. But it's also very impressive. Like, before the pandemic, like, that's when streaming started being a bigger thing and stuff like that, and more people didn't want to go out. And she still made a name for herself back then too. That to me, that's very impressive. If you could still sell as much as you can when you're in an age where like people just buy the singles or don't even, like me, I just download it allegedly.
You're gonna say that on live?
I said allegedly. Yeah, I got you there. But yeah, it's very impressive. You could still sell in an age like this where it's very digital and like people don't really go out and buy albums.
It's a good point.
That's a dope point. And speaking of buying stuff, let's go ahead and jump into our final and main topic real quick, which is the writer's strike. Apparently, I read this morning that the writer's strike has cost over 17,000 jobs, and also it's actually taking a hit into our so-called economy in terms of content not being produced. Now, as you guys know, a lot of production has shut down, like a lot of movies, TV productions were shut down. My question to you guys, going into next year, because we still got content that's coming out, do you think that the content that's already been pre-recorded and done, do you think it'll be released? And also, how soon do you think we'll see any new content? Because I guarantee you by mid 2024, if the strike is still going on, there's going to be no new seasons of anything. There's going to be no new movies of essentially anything. Because like I said, after I want to say by the time we get into like the spring of 2024 and they're still on strike, all we're going to be doing is watching reruns. So, Ian, I haven't heard your position on the strike. What do you think about the strike, and do you think we'll receive new content as we get into the new year?
Well, all I know is those Stranger Things kids better be an anime for the last season. Those kids are going to be like 28 years old when that season comes out. So I don't know how. And it just sucks. Like those kids, and then you got the kids from like Yellow Jackets, stuff like anything that involves kids. that's gonna be very difficult. It's gonna be like
That's a
that
good
thing
point.
with the guy with the skateboard. Hello, fellow kids. Uh, but oh man, my thoughts. Like it's an interesting cause. I definitely support it to an extent. It's really hard to calculate streaming. I get it. It's a very hard for both sides, so I understand that. But for the most part, I'm on the writers and the actors side. It seems like they are as rich as they are. They seem like that might also be an illusion. It seems like the studios are giving them the dimes and the nickels of it. So I do support that, but it does suck for the little guy underneath them, the guy that's selling coffee, or anybody that's helping in the studio, the makeup people. Like they're really getting the butt end of it, man. But as for the next year, man, that's gonna be interesting. I feel like there's so much streaming that we all haven't caught up on, because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm catching up on. Like, we'll still always be entertained. Like, even when we catch up on the streaming stuff, we'll go to anime, we'll go to foreign stuff, we'll go to YouTube shit. So we're always gonna have stuff. So like, we'll always be entertained as the consumer. But it does suck for the workers in Hollywood that are being screwed by this situation. We might have to fall back on our Marvel and DC and Star Wars and all those other mainstream stuff, but at the end of the day, I'm happy that a lot of stuff that didn't get the shine is probably getting some shine now that we never would have thought to watch. Matter of fact, I watched a movie last night on Amazon that I've never seen promoted at all, and I loved it. It was about this guy that was haunting his friend. I forgot what it was called, though. I'm not gonna get into all that stuff because I want to hear Jeremy's answer, but like, the fact that not much stuff is being promoted to me, and I'm just like going through the cyberspace of what I could watch, it's interesting and fun, and I definitely recommend people do that. Just like, what, if it's not the big Disney name or the big Warner Brothers name, why don't you give the smaller stuff a chance? There's good stuff out there.
Yeah, and to that point, I don't know how I missed this under my radar, but I've been watching this show called Justified. Oh my fucking God.
It's good, huh?
It's fucking amazing.
All right.
I don't know how I missed that. Like, that show is so good. But Jeremy, what are your thoughts about the writer's strike, and what do you thought about us not getting any potentially no new content going into the new year?
First of all, I agree with so much of what Ian said. I think that's a great and nuanced take. I think that there are writers and actors that are definitely getting their fair share, and then there are others that aren't. So in a way, it's like it's easier to blame a separate institution than it is for like the actors to acknowledge that maybe they need to spread the money around, because for every $20 million that Chris Pratt or Chris Hemsworth may make in a movie, maybe another actor's making 20,000, 200,000, who knows, right? But so the studios are a very good bad guy. They are. You look at the CEOs and what they make, and it's like, yeah, you could take some of that money and spread it around a little bit, would go a long ways as far as kind of evening the playing field a little bit. Also, to Ian's point, and I appreciate the nuance of it, is like, it is hard to quantify streaming. It is a big ask to say not to use artificial intelligence. If they're thinking that's where the world is going, it just makes the industry even more competitive, which is going to mean that there are less opportunities for people out there. And I've said it before on this show that I think what's happening in Hollywood is emblematic of what's happening in culture as a whole, and maybe writers fighting for their rights, fighting for financial equality or just equity for their work. Maybe that will start a movement outside of Hollywood, and maybe everybody will decide that their worth is more than what they're getting. And so I think it's generally a positive thing because there's so many eyes on it. But yeah, I also feel like we've got a whole universe of content to explore. Movies, television series, content, YouTube stuff, all of that, TikTok, etc. I'm catching up on Peaky Blinders on Netflix with Cillian Murphy from Oppenheimer. It is so good, dude. It's like 1920s, maybe a little before that, gangster series from the UK, and it is so very good. Love that series. Did y'all watch They Clone Tyrone?
Oh
I did.
man,
I did. I liked it. It didn't get the best reviews, but I thought it was entertaining. I liked it a
It
lot.
is fire, dude. I can't believe that people said they didn't like it. Like, Jamie Foxx has not been that good in a long time. That character is fucking phenomenal. The girl from the Marvels, like, dude, I love the style of that movie. It reminded me of like like a blaxploitation movie from the 70s with like a kind of cool, heady science fiction vibe, which we hadn't seen too much. Like, I mean, it says in the title, we kind of know what the twist is and where it's going, but like the social commentary in it is super smart. I love where it ends. Like, but I say all that to say there are great independent movies out there. There are smaller things that are still gonna be accessible. It does suck that House of the Dragon and Stranger Things and Yellow Jackets, all these series, we are gonna have to wait a little bit for, but it does force us to dig a little bit deeper into our catalog and go back and visit those things that we've always been meaning to see but haven't got around to it. So we're not at a deficit by any means, even if we gotta wait a little longer for the big stuff.
Yeah, for sure. People, check your watch later list, man. Get into that, man. Now is the time because nothing's coming. I definitely. Who would not want to follow those three and who They Clone Tyrone like in a sequel? Those three were perfect together.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to say is like there's this documentary on HBO Max called Telemarketers. Definitely watch it. Yeah. It's an amazing documentary. Seriously, like
episode 1 was incredible.
Say what?
Episode 1 was incredible.
Oh yeah. I watched all the episodes. I just caught up yesterday. Listen, if you ever get a call from the police, tell them to fuck off and hang up because man, they are robbing this country blind.
Crazy.
Watch that documentary, everybody. It's not getting a lot of promotion, obviously, but man, you will never like give any donations to anybody else ever again after watching this.
Yeah. It made me look at charity very differently.
Y'all, on that note, but a little bit different, on Max, there's a series called How To with John Wilson. So good. Also, man.
They just started a new series. Yeah. What was it, like season 3 now or season 4? I don't remember.
The finale was last night.
Yes, I love that show. It's one of my favorite. Like it's
nice.
Very opera comedy. It's hilarious. But the best episode he ever did was when he called out the guy from Bang. There was like a couple seasons before, but he walked into the CEO of Bang's house here in Florida. Walked into his house, white privilege and everything, and just like interviewed this man. This man walked away from his wife's like pregnancy reveal or whatever just to talk to this guy. I don't mean to get on a tangent, but that's a very good show. What Jeremy?
Nice. Yeah, man.
It is like everything that they're recommending. I'm still catching up on. I haven't finished Telemarketer yet. I'm still watching that.
Oh, it's crazy, man. You'll love it.
But to that point, there's a sea of content that's out there that we can watch that will carry us over. People are on this whole Suits craze. I've seen Suits when it came out, so
I didn't watch it. You like it?
Man, it's like it makes you want to be a lawyer to an extent.
Okay.
It's a really good show, but mind you, I watched Suits when it aired. So when it came on Netflix, I was kind of like, but it's a really good show. It's a lot of, by the way, that show does a lot of Batman things, like a lot of Batman jokes. So you definitely want to watch it. It's a really dope legal procedural. It's something better than I would say like Law and Order, but it's a really good show. But like I was saying before, there's so much content out there for you guys to watch to keep you over. And I support the writers and actors. However, I do hope that they can start working soon because of the, like Ian said, the makeup artists, the set designers, even the visual effects artists. They can't work on anything because nothing's really being done, unfortunately. And to that point, AI, I read something, and I don't know how true it is, but AI may be invading the comic strip industry, where now you can make characters AI generated by just telling AI to do it, and they'll do it. And I don't know how accurate that is, but there's apps where you can turn people into cartoons, quote unquote. But
Yeah.
even in those apps, they're not as accurate versus to someone who actually drew something. So
If
I'm,
you
I'm,
go,
wra- I'm wrapping up my comic actually, and I tried to attempt to save money to use the AI. A lot of it, it's kind of frustrating because like, yeah, it's possible, but like it's also seasonless if that makes any sense. Like
right.
it doesn't get the depth of like a writer. Like you could say something, but like it's still not understanding your point of view. It's evolving really quickly, so I wouldn't be surprised like in a couple of years they perfect it. But right now, I don't think they perfected it, but it is on the rise. You're right.
so if you read Fandom Wire, I can pick out AI language now. Like if you read Fandom Wire, I swear 70 to 80% of their content is being generated by artificial intelligence. It says a lot and uses fluffy words, but it's not really saying anything to Ian's point. It doesn't have a concise perspective or a distinct voice. But also, and this is good news, and then I gotta bounce. But artificial intelligence is actually getting dumber because it's training from artificial intelligence input. So with it, because I'm a copywriter for the job that I work at, and artificial intelligence has been a huge assistant to me over the last several months. I use it and then I refine it, go back over, kind of tweak it, add a little bit of humanity to it. But let's say if its IQ was at 100 before, I swear within a week it dropped down to about 70. So it seems to be getting dumber and dumber, which is great for writers. It's great for artists. But to Ian's point, it's a matter of time until they figure out how to solve that. And then we're off to the races again.
Definitely. Yeah. Real quick before you go, Jeremy, tell us where we can find you on YouTube and social media.
So check out Lucid Memory on YouTube. I'm just constantly updating that channel. I've been adding tons of videos to it. So check that out. Also, if you are a business owner and you are looking to grow your social media presence, check out branchadvertising.com. That's been coming along pretty well as well. So if there's any of you that happen to be interested in that market, but yeah, Lucid Memory, Pop Culture Nihilist has got some stuff I just haven't uploaded lately. And if you're interested in wrestling at all, go check out Wrestling is Terrible.
Definitely. And Ian, where can we find you on YouTube and social media?
You can find me at youtube.com/Ian Elliott Carter. And also, yeah, if you are looking for an event like for weddings or anything corporate, I do event rentals. So look for One Love Event Rentals on all social media platforms or the website as well. We have that. And yeah, I'm still working on a comic. Be on the lookout for Angel and Reset.
Awesome. Definitely look out for that comic because I had so much fun being a part of that. And
absolutely,
it's a really good it's really good. So guys, definitely check that out. You know where to find us here. Momentum Media, type in Momentum Media, you see it all over YouTube and different social medias. A lot of content's coming out on my channel as well, so stay tuned for that. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this episode, and as always, you guys have a blessed day.
Peace out, y'all.
All right,
Alex.
Thank you, bro.
Talk to you later, man.
You too.